And Spain also have two players returning from the silver medal winning.
About placements. So one each already. That goal is going to be checked, of course. All goals are checked with VAR. Didn't seem to be anything wrong with it. Firm in. Lopez scored on his first Champions League start, really got over. Donetsk and better since then. A couple of spectacular goals against Japan in this competition. Let's have one against the Dominican Republic. He has had a brilliant tournament. Sildilia. The question is about France's mentality. They were completely dominant. They were 1-0 up. These are mainly under 23 players, so we can't expect exactly the same mental resilience perhaps as we do from the stronger players, but Ellen, what a start we've had.
Absolutely, it's what we wanted from this game as France come forward once again, and well, Lacazette does well just to keep that in and win the corner there.
Indeed, Lacazette will run all day for this team. Well, it'll be a corner. Actually 6 goals in Ligue 1, 54 in the Premier League. He knows all about scoring goals, does Lacazette. They get on the end of this corner from Olise.
Sure that everyone's
win, 95,000 fans at the Camp Nou. I've heard all the stories. Of course, some of these players were born in 1992, but they've heard the stories, and the Spanish press has kind of picked up a repeat of that famous triumph in Barcelona. Miranda. Spain, of course, happy to go back, to go forward, and they do go forward. Miranda's first touch is a good one. Miranda puts it into the danger area. Brilliant save from Rest. But that man, Fermin Lopez, has another one. Unbelievable stuff. Fermin Lopez, 2 goals. And Guillaume Rest got a hand on it, but not enough. It hasn't been a good afternoon for goalkeepers so far. And Fermin Lopez is becoming the star of these Olympic Games. He's got another one. Miranda down the left-hand side, and France are stunned.
Well, Fermin Lopez proving that he can do it all. The spectacular goals from distance, and then this poacher's finish. He's in the right place at the right time, and, well, that's all to do with his sight, his vision, his positioning. He's there to pounce and steers it well away from Rest as well, who was trying to get back on it, but just guiding it into the far corner.
Well, Guillaume Rest is a young keeper. He's only 19. He did play every game last season for Toulouse. He has some experience in Ligue 1, but he will be disappointed that he couldn't either hold on to it or put it out of play. He put it on to the path of Fermin Lopez, who is not going to miss from there. It's France 1, Fermin Lopez 2. It's a fantastic tournament for Lopez. As I said a few seconds ago, just came through last season, Champions League football. proved himself very comfortable. Here he is again on the ball. It's taken off his toe from Manu Kone. 3 goals already. It's kind of final that neutrals like. Oroz, who's switched flanks, and France will know that Spain are capable of changing positions. They've done that quite a lot in this competition, especially Oroz and Sergio Gomez have switched flanks. Something else for France to look out for. Again, Miranda, real danger here, Miranda! Brought down.
And the free kick's given. Or is he giving a... Well, the Spanish players are appealing. He's given the free kick. They want the card as well.
Loic Bardet, who plays his football for Sevilla. Great rivals of Miranda's Betis. So France are in trouble now. They're 2-1 down. It's a nicely placed free kick, and we know Alex Baena can really hit a dead ball. Guillaume Rest. Again, the keeper, we just have to forget what happened a few minutes ago. I know that it was his error. There's a hush over the Parc des Princes. Suddenly the fervour has died down. Alex Baena! It's a brilliant hit! Alex Baena has put it into France's goal. And the hosts are living a nightmare. They've conceded 3 quick-fire goals. And the team that came here for gold have taken a huge step towards the top of the podium. The Spanish flags are flying now. 3 goals. And Alex Baena has hit a beauty. It's 3-1 for Spain.
Well, that small pocket of Spanish fans absolutely erupts, and the rest of the Parc des Princes falls deadly silent. A perfect free kick, and Guillaume Rest, well, he just stood there, statuesque, and watched it float into the top corner. It's sheer perfection. It's absolutely glorious, and what a turnaround from the Spanish. Well, this is it. This is how they've performed all tournament. At times where they've looked under pressure, potentially under the cloche a bit, they've just been able to switch it on and really show the class that they have.
3 goals in 10 minutes. France are shell-shocked here. And again, we have to underline, it's an under-23 team. They'll need their leaders out there. The likes of Lacazette and Chotard not happy. Really have to keep some cool heads, but it's not easy, Ellen. They must have thought that they were on the way to gold, getting an early goal, and so often there's very few goals in the finals. That's not the case today. We've had 4 already, which is fantastic, but not so good for France. 3-1 down all of a sudden, and we see some subs warming up, including Arnaud Calamwendo, who's a centre forward, and Thierry Henry, who's just rebuilding his reputation. Will not be happy with what he's seen. There's Guillaume Rest, who wasn't initially the number 1 pick. You know, Lucas Chevalier, who's had a brilliant season at Lille, but his club Lille made Chevalier unavailable because Lille are playing in Champions League qualifying. But that 3rd goal, can't really blame the goalkeeper. It was just an excellent hit.
No. I think he stood still because he knew where it was going. He knew that there was nothing he could do about it. And, you know, when you talk about the leadership and the leaders on the pitch, well, they're so far up this field, as you can see now. And really amongst that back line, as much as there is domestic experience, the leadership isn't there. And, you know, it's been really interesting over the course of the tournament to see where different nations put their overage players, and so frequently we see them in the centre-back pairing or as the goalkeeper. And France have switched it up, and the leadership, some of the overage players, they're in the front line, and it's a front line that's really feared, but when you're on the back foot, they can't really do much to help.
Indeed, Mateta and Lacazette got the experience, especially Lacazette, but they're seeing Spain suddenly take control of the match, and they've got another free kick. Spain have had 4 shots on goal, and 3 have gone into the nets of Guillaume Rest. So Barrios goes fresh pushing to the turf. Lopez, 2 goals. It's unlikely he'll be the top goal scorer. 2 more goals for that, but he's had a wonderful tournament. Miranda's down. For the moment, it looks like Spain bringing the gold medal back home. That was the high arm of France's goal scorer Enzo Mio.
Well, they won it on home soil in 1992, and they'll be preventing France from achieving the same feat in 2024. Fermin Lopez well and truly riding the crest of the wave that he's on off the back of the Euros, and has just shone so much in this tournament, proving that he can be a threat from every angle, wherever on the pitch, and the work rate that he puts in on midfield as well, so impressive.
Just need to beware, certainly can't concede another one. It was a Puig. Scored earlier in the tournament, as has Alex Baena, we should say, so there's 2 goals for him, and goals raining in for Spain. 32 minutes in, they scored 3 in 10 minutes and made it. Abel Ruiz hasn't been prolific, the centre forward. Okay, go home with the gold medal, Spain. So Miranda, mentioned some composed defending. Goes back to the team in yellow, or possibly gold shirts, let's put it that way. Will they be carrying gold home, I wonder? Alex Baena. Kubasi. Kubasi back to Baena. He's barely missed a game over the last couple of years for Valencia. Top player is Baena. Villarreal, I should say, excuse me. Kubasi will go long. France really have to rebuild now, maybe rethink a little. Quickfire wants to go back. To start so well, 3 group wins. They did have a struggle against Egypt. They went 1-0 down, needing an extra time win. Thierry Henry saying, fais l'appel, he's asking for the run. Make a call, he's saying. So many times in his career at Monaco, Arsenal, and indeed Barcelona. It's interesting, ahead of the game, he made a point of shaking the hands of all the Spain players. So France would love to get one back before half-time. Surely not 5 goals in one half of football in a final. Very rare we see that. Baena, he gets himself into trouble, but Arnaud Tenas, who will be maybe the most relieved player on the pitch, that Spain have gone and scored 3. It's 1 bit illegally so from Sildilia.
But still, this is it about Fermin Lopez. He finds himself absolutely everywhere. The hand in there from Sildilia. Fermin Lopez still down on the ground and writhing in pain, holding the back of his knee. Who
has 6 goals. The top scorer is actually Rahimi, who has 8. So, well, it's asking a lot. If Fermin gets a couple more, he'll be top scorer. And that was the free kick. And Baena, beautifully placed. It's Arsene Wenger. He won't be happy with that. Didier Deschamps behind him. He's the national team coach, of course. Here to support his youngsters, and Guillaume Rest. He'll learn from that.
Well, the last 2 goals for Spain coming from bursts forward from Juan Miranda, and that was it. They just can't leave him the space. They found an opportunity, and France, particularly for the winning of the free kick, just gave him too much room and then left it too late. Ended up taking him out. He flies up and down that left flank and is such a strong presence and a fast one for Spain.
It's going to be yellow cards. First yellow of the day. More frustration for France. looked like it was going so well. Manu Kone first into the book for that challenge. So Spain, things going very well for them indeed, although maybe not so well for Oroz, who's gone down and looks in a bit of pain.
It's not the first time this game. He went down early on, didn't we? So we saw him get himself back up onto his feet as he received some treatment, and players take an opportunity in the heat that we've experienced across the country, not just Paris, take on some fluids.
It's a good point you make about the fullbacks, because we've had goal-scoring fullbacks, and Santi Denia in some of his pre-match or pre-competition press conferences wax lyrical about fullbacks. It's almost like you could talk about them all day. They have such an important role in the modern game, and we've had goals from Gutierrez, from Puyol, from Wanlu, and quite rightly you said the big role there in Miranda. What's interesting about the Spanish fullbacks is they're quite big guys, Miranda and Puyol. They're well capable of playing at centre-back, but they're such versatile players. You see that there. Puyol's ball is a good one. France are suffering here. Abel Ruiz, Baena, the other Pezzle, you won't bet against it. Lacazette, Truffert. It's a nice open final, which we don't always get. Two young teams going for goals. Good to see. Manu Kone has to be careful. He's on a yellow. It's not the best pass, but it's knocked out by Enzo Mio. The key man, surely, Michael Olise. Lacazette, Mio. So many yellow shirts back. Gets into a bit of trouble there, Bade. He's okay. Sildilia. French crowd are not happy that the Spanish player's gone down, but play's going on. No reason to stop play. Truffert. Very left-footed. Kone, Mio. Cries of Allez les Bleus, come on the Blues, and they'll need the 12th man. The under 23 players, for many it's their first big final, and they would have been stunned with 3 goals in 10 minutes. It doesn't happen very often at any level of football. Olise again, the player's always dreamed of playing for France. The cross is overcooked, and it's going to be easy for Spain. Olise is going to be really important now, isn't he? Because he's been their best attacking weapon, and Thierry Henry has been praising Olise. He's been saying that what you've seen is just the beginning. He's got huge talent. He said his desire to play for France gives me goosebumps. That was the words of Thierry Henry.
Well, he's absolutely shone, hasn't he? He had an incredible last season at Crystal Palace, and his story and the desire, like you say, to play here and play for France. His mum showing him videos of 1998, 2000. French mum who just wanted his son to play at the highest level. And he's pulled on the shirt for France at this under-23s tournament, and still a young man and plenty of potential still to fulfil.
Fermin Lopez, France in trouble. Oroz was blocked by 2 blue shirts, and they have to defend in numbers against this excellent Spanish team. Miranda, saved by rest, just about. Lacazette makes a mistake. Baena, Lacazette. France on the break. What a good match of football this is, though. Neutrals will be enjoying it. Eric Garcia with the tackle that is not legal according to Hamon Abachi. That time it's Mateta whacking the turf after feeling the force of Eric Garcia. It's a courageous tackle. And that was the chance a few seconds ago.
Yeah, Miranda once again finding himself in space. I say finding himself, he's creating space for himself as well, and his vision is great, and his ability to get into those spaces, those pockets in the French back line, and a French back line that is shell-shocked, one that is lacking confidence and is going to need a huge boost and a huge team talk. Some big motivation at half-time, but They're in the Parc des Princes. They're in an Olympic final on home soil, and the legend that is Thierry Henry is leading them. So the motivation is there. Can they draw on it? We'll have to wait and see.
Bardet, Sildilia, two German-based players. Sildilia again, showing patience. Chotard, it's far too high from the player from Montpellier. There's Thierry Henry, who has been much analysed in the French press ahead of this match. The feeling is he took a gamble on this job, but the gamble's paid off. Even a silver medal is a good return. He's had to bring together players from disparate clubs. Look, they're all top players. They're all playing at the top level in Germany, in England, in France, but they have struggled to gel today, that's for sure. Baena, is he winning the loose ball? Was that handball? No, says our referee. Here is Olise. Olise wants to be getting into the French senior team after this. The display here won't do him any harm at all. Enzo Mio, Sildilia. Perhaps a bit of calm is needed after conceding 3. It's the best pass back, but just about kept in. Apart from that 10-minute spell, it wasn't too bad for France, but that's a very big part, isn't it? Because 10 minutes, 3 goals. France will need to rebuild in the second. If it's 3-2, that's a completely different ball game, of course. Spain will know that. Goes back to Bardet, Lukeba. Through the Lyon Youth Academy, produced so many great players over the years. There's Bardet. Everyone back for Spain. Lacazette has to be careful. This is taken off his toe, but he wins it back, then loses it.
Well, it's almost a curse of the early goal for France, and we've seen it in the last 2 knockout rounds for Spain. They obviously conceded early against Morocco and had to come back, and then against Japan, well, they scored early, but then let Japan pile on the pressure. And after that, when they came back out at half-time, it was Spain who just really switched on. And as soon as you feel like Spain will take time to settle into the game, figure out their opponents, and then they can just click, and everything just comes together so instantly for them.
The goal now could change things. Olise, number 7, is hovering over it. Olise into the danger area. Spain deal with it. There's Oroz. Oroz protecting the ball. He thought he was fouled. The referee says no. France win it back again. They have the throw. France went 400 minutes without conceding, and then they conceded 1 against Egypt, and 3 have gone in 10 minutes. Sildilia. Enzo Mio. Packed defence for Spain. They've just left Abel Ruiz up. Didn't go out. Amolabachi. It's towards French goal. It's going to go Spain's way. Olise wants the Spanish to get on with it.
Well, it's part of the difference, isn't it? Like you mentioned, it took obviously France so long to concede. Spain had got used to conceding. They had all the way through the group stages. They did, of course, in the semi-finals, and they know how they react. They know how they respond when they either go behind or when they concede. They have that experience, whereas France, they've had the luxury of not having to be in that position. But then, are they being made to pay for it here?
This is the first all-European Olympic final since that one we talked about in 1992, when Poland were beaten by Spain. It's gone down in Spanish history, that match. Let's see if this one will also go down in the annals of Spanish history. There is such a good 15-odd years of football, of course, winning the Euros 3 times. They've won the World Cup 2010. It's a good period again for Spanish football. A generation of youngsters coming through. 7 minutes of stoppage time, so still time for the French. Mio. Sildilia wants it. Mio goes a little bit more direct. Comes Bade again. Bade. So to Truffert. Mateta! Great save. Tenas showing what a good goalkeeper he is. He may have made a mistake earlier, but that was point blank range from Jean-Philippe Mateta, and that's a top save.
It's a great save. It's a really strong palm to see that out for a corner.
Here comes the corner. It's headed on. It's a bit of a scramble there. Bade was there. Goes to Olise. Olise having a go. Why not? Certainly got the skills to put it in from there. Truffert. This is better from the French. Chotard headed out. The sense that a goal before half-time could really change things. Headed on again. Kone cries for a penalty, not given. Olise. Olise has 2 defenders. Keep him quiet. Put in from Bade. Getting a bit far. Philippe Mateta will chase that one down. Perhaps the kind of position they want him. Although Truffert does well. Again, Spain defending well. That man, Fermin, shows he's an all-round footballer. Ball is recycled. Miranda hands it out. France want a penalty. They're not going to get it. Olise! Just wide. Desperately disappointing for Michael Olise, who very nearly just somehow scooped it goalwards, and it was just wide.
Well, the last 3 minutes have been desperation descending into chaos, and that would have been one chaotic goal had it gone in. France trying to they're throwing everything forward and they're trying to find a way through, but Spain closing the doors and constantly France just running into traffic.
What a first half we've had. So often these finals are cagey affairs, cat and mouse, no goals for the first hour, and we're coming up with maybe the old cliches about no one wanting to make a mistake and playing with fear. This has not been that kind of final. 4 goals, plenty of chances. We could have had 2 or 3 more. It's been great entertainment. Well, maybe not if you're a French fan. It's Abel Ruiz, the captain. He'll be hoping to lead his team to the top of the podium. We are going to get a podium at the end of this match. Gold medals will be handed out, and the silver ones. No one wants a silver today. We're deep into stoppage time, 7 minutes, which is not unusual in this tournament. We've had quite a lot of stoppage time. That's nice work from Miranda, and he's brought down, is he? Play goes on, Ruiz. Truffert cuts it out. Cannot take your eyes off this one. Miranda down, gets up. It's that kind of game.
Well, he's back down again. He was limping.
Ahead of this match, one of France's most renowned football writers said that charisma and audacity have proved Thierry Henry's best assets. He's going to need plenty of those two characteristics in this second half. There is Thierry Henry. Ellen, what do you think he told his players at half-time?
Well, he's a man who has so much experience. He understands the weight of pressure that's on their shoulders, and I'm sure he would have been nothing but encouraging. He's a man who we see so regularly on the television as well, and we know his ability with words. I think he would have reminded these players of their quality, of what they've done to get here, and that they have what it takes. He needs to impart the belief that they can get through this and have the gold medal hung around their necks at the end. The challenge, though, a huge one.
Steely determination about this French team, but it's going to need a huge comeback. They're 3-1 down. Underway in the second half. France kicking from right to left. Two from that man, Fermin Lopez again. Alex Baena making it three with a delicious free kick. It was after the French went ahead, and the sense that the fans thought that they were heading for gold. Well, think again. This Spanish team are comeback kings. They came back against Morocco, and they've done it again. They just keep playing their football. Don't get rattled, don't get rushed. That's how Spain play their football, and more often than not, it works. Olise, first touch for him. He gets the sense that he's going to be the key man in the second half. Chotard helps it on. France started that first half so well. They'll try to do the same in the second period. Fair couldn't quite drive his way through.
And they came out with so much pace, didn't they, in the first half, and they were able to get something from it. In that time, though, Spain were able to grow.
This is a good one. A goal early on would give France a massive boost. Alex Baena, a lovely touch about him. He's a technical player. He's proved to be a leader over the last couple of weeks of Olympic football. It all started for Spain with a win against Uzbekistan on this very ground. Not a surprise that they're in the final. They brought some quality players here. Two winners of the senior European Championships, remember. So much class dotted around the team. Not a surprise they're in the final. France had to put together a team. 20 players were refused the right to travel to Paris. Thierry Henry putting together a team, looking to inspire them. He's proved to build up a very good relationship with the players. Players have said he's got two sides. He can be a disciplinarian when necessary, but he's developed a good relationship with the players. He's called the king of banter among the players. Let's see if it's going to be the case at the end of this match. But defending to do here. It's high and wide from Abel Ruiz.
Well, as much as we talk about the fact that this France squad have been assembled quite late on, and obviously the players who've been refused travel, it's worth remembering that Spain have no players over, well, 24 is the oldest player in the squad, and you are obviously allowed to bring 3 overage players. And Spain, there's a lot of youth. They've obviously had the European Championships win, and it's interesting to see how they've assembled this squad. Youth is at the forefront once again. They haven't opted for necessarily the big named overage players, despite having, of course, the two who travelled and won the European Cup.
It's better from Lacazette. Side to Enzo Mio. That goal of his seems a long time ago, doesn't it? Truffert looks to get it back. He's very left-footed, is Truffert, but he's got a very good left foot. Shows it there. Kubasi deals with it and hacked out. Momentum has been so important in this French run, and they've gathered that over the matches. The fans have got behind them. Really good atmospheres at their games, and might be a factor, Alan, that's rather gone after a furious first 10 minutes. The fans were brilliant in that first 15 minutes, but 3 goals for the opposition has rather popped their balloon.
Yeah, well, the fans silenced after, well, the second goal, let alone the third, and it is a home game for France, and it will be seen that way amongst this stadium. There's only small pockets of Spanish fans who have been incredibly loud when Spain have pushed forward and found the back of the net. But France, well, they'll need the fans to rally. They'll need the fans to continue to be behind them. Be the 12th man.
Good times to be a Spain fan at the moment. It might get better. They're hovering around the end of the box. Fermin Lopez. Patrick in a final. That would be something to remember.
Well, uncharacteristically very off target for Fermin Lopez, who connects with that with a completely wrong part of his boot and sends it flying well out high and wide.
Has played here before. He came on as a sub when Barcelona beat PSG in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. They actually lost to return 4-1, so it ended up being